So I think this is like the only video that I'm going to talk about religion, but I want to talk about this concept of the beast of knowledge. The idea that I see often problems with is, why would God send people to hell? Why would He have a certain judgment on sinners and such? And I think the best philosophy that I found on the internet is this phrase called the beast of knowledge. Things like wrath, envy, sensuality, and wrath. I'm sure if I repeat myself, but those are stuff that we found in nature, where with animals, and I call that the beast of knowledge. When you promote that, so for example, there's a difference between judging people by your personal flaw, which the Bible actually condemns, because it talks about, why would you try to take something out of your brother's eye when you have like a bean or something in your own eye or something. Or as the poem by English poets once said, people who live in glass houses should throw stones. So the idea is to basically try to be as understanding as possible, and not try to judge people by your own personal flaws. Basically, we try to help them on the way, because eventually people are, in the hearts, people are going to essentially do mistakes in life. So the idea is to try to help people on their way. Of course, you have to obey the law. Romans 13, Romans chapter 13, verse 1 to 7, specifically says you have to obey the law. So laws exist for a reason. It's the thing with politics is essentially a gray area, but religion is a black and white sentiment. So within that, you have to obey God and try to be as try to follow it as much as possible. So when I mean the beast of knowledge, I mean we are likely gonna sin eventually, or have personal flaw. Like, for example, with stress, you're likely gonna make more mistakes than if you're content with something. Those are just human flaws and human errors. And the thing with when liberals, I should not say liberals, because it's more that liberals have a victimhood culture, so they promote it more on the basis of knowledge, based on that. And conservatives might just do it out of frustration and stuff like that. I'm not gonna. Maybe I'm generalizing a little bit here, but I'm just saying it, judging by some politics I see on the media and such. The thing is, that saying that, oh, it's human nature to act like this. Well, it's more like it's the animal nature. Like, animals get scared, animals eat, animals get angry, animals do this and that. The idea of God's law is that to obey them, we have to obey by the pure knowledge. The beast of knowledge is trying to justify what is normal in the primitive sense, and not in the godly sense. And that's sort of this mistake, is to try to justify morality around that, because people are deceitful. Like, I can give some example here. Friends. There's a story of the Good Shepherd, and that's what Jesus is, right? The Good Shepherd carries the lamb. Now, with mothers, they may sort of, in the animal world, they may sometimes abandon the child. So in terms of Jesus, he picks up the lamb and says, and that's the same thing with friends too. Like, you have family or friends, maybe they disown you, maybe they stop hanging out with you, maybe you say something political or something wrong, and they just don't want anything to do with you anymore. And that's the thing, is with gray areas, you never can trust people 100%, but with God, you can trust him 100%. So that's why relying on pure knowledge is better, and that's why trying to promote it in the media and in entertainment is better than promoting the beast of knowledge, which is deceitful to begin with. It's not really, it doesn't really have 100% certainty that it's going to go well in the end. But with loyalty and faith, that's what, like, one of the first commandment is, and Jesus even says this: love God with all your heart and soul, and love your neighbor as yourself. I think even Saint Paul in the New Testament says stuff like "Don't covet, don't steal, don't kill" is like loving your neighbor. That's one example of that to fulfill the law. Like there's some debate on that though. Like um, in terms of Old Testament, the letter of the law is essentially like following it literally, but the spirit of the law is to follow the intention of it. You can probably look it up, but that's my point. Is if you want to be good people, we just gotta try to put more faith in God. And I hope this really kind of helped to clarify some misunderstanding that I think people have on Christianity. Um, I guess that's a joke though. With well, what about Islam? I guess if you have the Pope and a weird Muslim from Mecca solve this over rock, paper, and scissors, and the loser converts the winner with set institution, that's one way to do it. I'm just joking though. It's just a joke to relieve the doubt, because I do think people use it as a gotcha that you have loyalty, but there's also other cases. Well, the point is that you follow the core cases of Abraham, the religion of Abraham, and that's the core pillar. Because with paganism, you can't really be sure. It's moral relativism. That's why I don't trust paganism or other. I consider them fake, basically. Um, Now, with the case um, of if I were to give a sort of like apologeticism why I think Christianity is likely to be true, but like apologeticism doesn't help in any way, because people basically have a very subjective view on that, and it's never solved anything. I've tried it for years. I studied Christianity, I studied Islam, and trust me, apologetics is more a subjective defense. It's not a definitive one, but I can try to do my best though. Like I think I read some hadith in when I studied it, and I think it mentions something about that um, um, uh, Abdullah ibn Masud. I think that was the name. I didn't trust Sayyid ibn Thabit with the Quran. I bet probably Muslim apologetic would say that they probably mean his methods or something, and I know, and there was some debate there. But that's not the point. My point is, let's say there's a new religious cult, right? And they are trying to claim that, well, actually, we are the true restorationists of religion, and Islam is not true, and Christianity is not true. Like you have three choices here. You could either convert back to Christianity as the original pillars of loyalty and faith, or you can stick to Islam and say that this new cult is wrong, or you can continue converting and say, okay, maybe we should do this forever. So that is my best apologetic to have Christianity. So, but I hope this video helped you, and I did my best in what I could explain at least. So that's just my faith and what I try to talk about. So I hope this helped you, and probably my only video that I'm gonna make on religion. But thank you for listening, and bye. Oh yeah, I guess I can show you some of my verse that I think is I don't know, and it's in Norwegian though, so I don't know if you can read it. But this is like footnotes. This is Epistle of James, if you wonder. So yeah, I could say this is like my favorites Bible verses. So yeah, so that's all I want to say. Thank you for listening, and bye.